Hey guys, Metro here, and today I'm going to be showing you a different video about what the MTA should do with their subway line. So I made a lot of changes on this map, and so before I'm going to show you all the stuff I changed, I want to go over the stuff that's still the same. So the lines that remain mostly unchanged and are still the same as and are still as before and are still the same as before are the B, D, E, G, R, W, 42nd Street and Franklin Avenue shuttles. And 42nd Street shuttles. Those are the ones that are either mostly unchanged or still the same. The other lines that I didn't mention, like the rest of the lettered trains and the number lines, those lines are completely different. So I'm going to go over them in order by order. So the A went through like a major sort of like reconstruction. So the A train is now fully going to Bar Rockaway because I rerouted the branch on the C train right here. This A train is now running express, and now we'll skip 88th Street, 80th Street, and Grant Avenue full time. And I think overnights on this map, I'll have the C train run to replace all the A train stops. So the part of the A that remains changed is the section north of Inwood 207th Street. So it has another new transfer to the 1 train at 215th Street Broadway, and then runs along Fordham Road until Fordham Road becomes Pelham Parkway, and then it terminates at Pelham Bay Park with the 6 train. And it has new connections, to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Q trains. Actually, I'm going to have a new transfer go. So now it transfers to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B, D, and Q trains. So those are the lines that it has new transfers to, like. Alright, now we're gonna go to the B train. The only thing different about the B train is that I extended it 1 stop to Norwood 205th Street, so it'll run in the Bronx full time. And it'll make the D express, so it'll run like how it does in rush hours currently. It'll run like they're in full time. The C train got extended from its terminal at Euclid, and it makes 7 new stops at Grand Avenue, 80th Street, 88th Street, Rockaway Boulevard, 104th Street, 111th Street, and Ozone Park Lefferts Boulevard. Oh, and another line I didn't mention that is also the same as before is the Z train. That one remains unchanged. So I was about to. All right. I'll mention that as we get into like the later versions. Anyways, so now I'm going to be moving on to the F train. The only thing different about the D train remains, with the exception of the service change of the B before, the D train remains exactly the same. The E train remains also exactly the same. The only difference is it's going to be stopping at 75th Avenue full time instead of the F on weekdays. So the F will run express between the F will run express between Kew Gardens Union Turnpike and Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue. So the next line that we're going to talk about is the F. The F went through a major sort of like reconstruction. The F now terminates in the Belrose neighborhood at the intersection of Braddock Avenue and Cross Island Parkway, and now is extended via Braddock Avenue and Hillside Avenue. So it was extended by its terminal at Jamaica 179th Street, and now runs. This whole segment is new. This was not here. This is not here in real life. All right, so now we're gonna go to the new H line that was created. The H basically replaced the Rockaway Park shuttle, and there was no third shuttle in this route. And it was extended by, and that now allows for the A to make another express stop, and it will skip Aqueduct North Conduit Avenue, and the H will stop there full time instead. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the M train. The M train is completely different compared to the other lines. So the M train was actually, the M train was affected on both ends. So its new terminal, it was extended one stop to Juniper Valley Park, cut back, and no longer runs to Forest Hill 71st Avenue. It gets cut back at Northern Boulevard, and now runs along Northern Boulevard, has a new transfer to the 7 train at Parsons Boulevard, which I will explain later, and its new terminal is 162nd Street, Crocheron Avenue. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the new V train that was created. The V train is completely different as before, and the M train runs local. The V train now runs express, skipping Fresh Pond Road, Forest Avenue, and Seneca. So, and it also terminates at Juniper Valley Park. And it goes to actually Breezy Point, which is, I'm going to rename this stop real quick before I forget. So the route it takes, it splits off from the M, now runs on Palmetto, continues straight onto Palmetto, turns onto Howard. I believe this is Howard, actually. Hold on, let me check for a sec. Palmetto. Yep, this is Howard. So it runs on Howard, and has a new transfer to the J train at Gates Avenue, Broadway. And then another new transfer at Fulton Street, Ralph Avenue, with the C train. The V train has a lot of transfers in its route. Well, Actually, I take that back. It has a new transfer at Sutter Avenue to the 3 and 4 trains. So it turns off Howard and turns on to Tapscott instead, and then until Tapscott becomes Kings Highway at East 98th Street. So it runs on Kings Highway until about, what street is this? Don't know what street is this. I think this is Avenue I. Actually, I don't know what the street is. Oh, this. Hold on, I need to hide this. So this station is Glenwood Road. So at Glenwood Road, at Utica rather, it'll turn off Kings Highway and then go on Utica. And then when it merges, has a new transfer to the 5 train at Kings Plaza. And that's the new 5 terminal, which I will show you all later. So the G train, like I've said, is exactly the same as before. The J train was extended in Queens to serve the neighborhoods of Rosedale, Laurelton, Springfield Gardens, St. Albans, and Adsley Park. So it was it now runs on Merrick Boulevard after it turns off 93rd Avenue and goes on Merrick. And the Z train does not serve this branch. This is just the J. So anyways, alright, now I'm going to show you the L. The L was extended on both ends like the M. The L was extended to 14th Street, 11th Avenue. And now runs, and it was extended after Canarsie Rockaway Parkway. It'll continue on to Rockaway Parkway, then head to Canarsie Pier. Since there are a lot of, attractions that would be there on, down there that you have to walk a long time, and no one would really want to, walk that far. So yeah, the N train was extended a few stops to serve the LaGuardia Airport Terminal connection. And then there will be an air train, because I didn't include it on this map. But the Q train now goes into the Bronx via the Willis Avenue Bridge. And it runs via Webster Avenue now. And then eventually curves to meet with the B and D at Norwood 205th Street. The R train is exactly the same. The W train is also exactly the same. So the next thing I'm going to describe is, so now we're going to move on to the numbered, actually, not move on to numbered, I'll show you what the T train does, and this has not been created yet, but now it runs along 125th Street, as you can see right here. $3.30, a ridership of nearly 6.63 million. Actually, well, nearly 7 million, rather. I think what I did was good. So, alright, now time for the numbered lines. Now, before I'm going to describe the 9 train. I brought it back, but its service pattern is a little different. It runs local between Chambers Street and South Ferry, runs express between Times Square 42nd Street and Chambers Street, and then runs